Hi, everyone. Woo!
Guess who cleaned up their desktop this week? And some of my assets for the pre-show, the opener, the loop at the background, all got put into subfolders because I
And
cleaned.
disappear.
So the links to them for the opener are not there. We discovered on the fly just now. This is what happens when you clean up your desktop.
Never clean up your desktop.
You gotta remember where you relinked everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, as long as we're talking about technical errors,
Sure.
last week's solo show
Yeah.
came
What
to
happened to that, man?
it came to an abrupt ending. Is about all I can say on it. As many people know, the California fires have been all over this area recently. Our power was shut off Thursday and Friday, and we're going to go ahead and also blame the power company for Monday when Gratcast came to a sudden end due to a power issue. So yeah, that
So
was
fingers crossed. It is still windy out tonight, but fingers crossed for us that we stay on and the
oh,
electricity
dude,
stays
the
going.
power company's ridiculous with all these shutdowns all over the country, all over the state, and they still started the fires that are burning right now. So it's not helping anything. But the crazy part is, Andrea was working all weekend down in Anaheim, and Thursday and Friday the power was out pretty much all Thursday and most of Friday, and there was no wind. They had to shut down as a preemptive strike, but there was almost no wind. There was occasional gust. Yet Sunday night, last night, I'm driving home from a 7-Eleven run, and it's like I come from Buffalo. I know what a whiteout looks like. This is a whiteout of dust and dirt flying by. The wind so busting and going so strong. Don't turn the power off for that, though.
Nope.
So you figured out. Transitioning into your weekend, dear.
Long weekend.
Give us some behind the scenes from Blizz Con.
It's not actually happening. We're getting everything set up for Blizz Con, which is at the Anaheim Convention Center in Anaheim. Kind of makes sense. And Blizzard, the esports video game
video
company.
game developing company. Yep.
Yeah, so I guess every year they have a big convention that each of the halls are much bigger than a football field size. And there are 4 halls plus rooms upstairs that are like giant gaming rooms where you get to check, like test out their new stuff. And they have stages set up where it takes up maybe a quarter of these halls, and they're expecting seating for 2,000 people.
Oh yeah, it's a big
And just
event.
a quarter of the size of the hall. They're going to fit 2,000 people sitting there watching that.
So what?
It's insane.
What have you specifically been doing?
I have been hanging lights. So all of the light displays, everything that they're going to be having at the first quarter of the hall, we got to hang trusses and then do the light plot and wire everything, power everything, focus. Yeah, it's been fun.
So is it just general lighting, or is it like choreographed lighting with spotlights and color changes and
Yep.
stuff like that? So like when like a presentation goes off and there's all sorts of crazy strobe
They
light
have
action and
it
all that, you guys are doing all
programmed
that?
beforehand so that all they have to do is hit go when they're supposed to, and it will do the magic.
Nice.
Yes. So I got very lucky on getting that call because it turned into multiple days, which does not happen often on gigs. They're usually just 1 or 2 days at most, one load in, one load out. So I got to go on for a couple of days, and they're still getting ready now. But they started cutting back on the electric department because not going to be as many things that need to be done as they lead up to it.
All right.
Yep.
And I think a couple of the other days you spent at the Staples Center too, right?
At the Microsoft Plaza last week. That's why I wasn't here with you on last Monday. They were getting
what were
ready
you doing?
for the big NBA season opener.
The kickoff, Lakers Clippers.
Exactly, and there was a big show that they put on in the middle of the Microsoft Plaza right across the street from the Staples, which is where the Lakers play. So we got to go there and help set up all of the accoutrements and make the stages.
The what?
Accoutrements.
What the fuck is that?
All the extras, all the things that go along with the
Wow.
show, all the things that make it up.
You just
Yeah.
pulled out a huge
I did.
word for Gratcast.
I did.
Hey, Wyatt's checking in, and
Hi, Wyatt.
he said he's wondering how the how BlizzCon's going to go with their controversy that's going on.
Is there a controversy?
Oh yeah, they got sucked into the whole China censorship controversy. Like right after South Park was beating them up, and right after the NBA stepped in shit, and you've worked for both China cow towers this week. But right after the NBA,
they pay, right, and they're nice to us.
Right after the NBA stepped in it with their whole China controversy, it came out that Blizzard was censoring their games and a lot of things that they were doing for the same China censorships and all of that stuff. So the gaming community is very upset with Blizzard at this moment in time.
I have a feeling it won't stop people from showing up.
Oh no.
Oh no.
They'll still come rolling in droves.
I think it starts November 1st and it goes through the 4th. So, nice solid 4 days that people get to go, and if I'm lucky, I might get asked to go down there and help tear it all down.
Ooh, fingers crossed.
Hell yeah, baby.
Something else that happened this week. There was a Harvey sighting, APB out. Somebody saw him out in public. This dude was rolling around with security guards, an entourage, like nothing ever happened. I understand
the security guard part. Everyone hates him.
Apparently he had some young women with him.
What the hell are they doing with him?
Oh yeah, still the man. Best part is, the dude goes to a comedy show thrown by artists for artists. And it just the small little tiny room, maybe less than 75 people in there. And they're all artists and creators, people who are well aware of the fact this is the poster boy for preying on artists and taking advantage of talent. And like nothing was going to happen. He's just sitting in the back of the room like Jabba the Hutt chilling. And for me, it's not surprising that there was a couple women with the balls and the courage to stand up and call him out right in the room. The amazing part to me is that the crowd did nothing. Some of them booed the girls for speaking up. And then the security guards, both for the club and for Harvey, asked those girls politely to leave and escorted them out, and none of the crowd did anything. None of the crowd spoke up. None of the crowd came to the girls' defenses. Nothing. Let them all be walked out in exchange for having Harvey in the back of the room. Still. And you wonder why we can't get sweeping changes and drag all these MFers out of where they're sitting in their ivory towers. Because here's the worst of them all. And the dude's still walking around in public calling the shots.
And you said there's video?
Yeah, here's one of the girls that actually used her time on stage to get at him.
I'm feeling a little tense. Anybody else?
Yeah.
I'm a comic. And it's our job to name the elephant in the room. Do we know what that is? Yeah, it's Freddy Krueger in the room, if you will. I didn't know that we have to bring our own maze and rape whistles to Actors Hour, y'all. No? No? Oh, shut up. Yeah. This kills at group therapy for rape survivors. They love it. Yeah. Yeah, I have been raped, surprisily, by no one in this room,
somebody had to do
I've never gotten to confront those guys.
It's just ridiculous that.
Just a general fuck you to whoever
Yes, girl!
Yeah, Taxier
didn't feel a little bit of shame about that.
You're talking about a guy that walked around Hollywood when everybody knew exactly what he was doing. Now everybody else just knows. Well, like if he didn't have shame then, when his own peers that he was preying on knew what he was doing, why would he now? And you know, a lot of the dirty things in his closet have a lot of dirty connections to a lot of dirty people. There's a reason he thought he was so powerful and invincible. There's a reason he still thinks he can walk around and you're the one that's going to get put in your place, not him. And that to me is scarier than the fact he's showing up at comedy clubs. It's that he still feels completely entitled and invincible.
He feels like he's okay.
But
if the group doesn't say anything about it, then the bully gets away with it every fucking time.
Yeah, but good for Kelly Bachman and the other two young ladies that stood up and at least said their piece on the matter. All right, so we're gonna roll right into the Gratwick section here, dear, and give a campaign update. And last week,
campaign update.
Last week, the Start Engine campaign launched, where anyone can invest a micro investment in Gratwick Productions, and not only own a piece of the corporation and our plan to build these digital media funds. You can get that off our face.
Okay. Give everyone a chance to read it, you know.
But not only our plan to build all of this, but also the plan to get a physical studio space built in Western New York. That would be a state-of-the-art Esports Arena, production studio, all of these interactive entertainment components that come together under one single roof. Today we released, that's what that tweet was that Andrea showed up on screen there.
Show again.
We released an entire thread on the Gratwick Productions Twitter page that explains our entire plan for the Gratwick Studios and Esports Arena in Western New York, how we can get it made, why it's a good idea to get this made, and what it would mean for the community to own this and have a piece of bringing this into the community.
So do you want to recap it for them, or are you pretty much saying go to the Twitter and
find
it?
It's probably 20 to 25 tweets long.
If you have some time to kill, you know.
The other place that you can go to get it in its entire singular form, with a couple little GIFs, some pictures, and all that different media to go with it, is the Start Engine page itself for Gratwick Productions. Just go to gratwickproductions.com. It'll take you right to the Start Engine page, and if you go all the way down to the bottom, every week we're going to have a major update. Last week, it was we'll get to it. Last week it was the Bills shirt. The augmented reality Bills shirt that we're going to be diving into a little bit more here next. And this week, the deep dive is on the whole studio component. Next week, it's going to be the digital media fund.
Cool. May I have a water?
You may have water. Oh, you don't.
May I have the other water?
Oh, you don't want my water?
I don't want your water. I would like my own.
Is it going to be a Me Too moment if I make you drink my water?
Well, you'll take it back is all.
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
I've got some backups here. I keep storing them. All right, so yeah, check it out on Twitter. Give us a little follow and subscribe while you're there, and follow the campaign as well. So every week when we put these updates out, the campaign followers are the first ones to find out what's going on, what's happening with it, and we need some more early investors. If you guys are thinking about it and considering, please jump on board and support us early on here. Because the more people that are already here and believe in what we're trying to do, the more people are going to jump on and the more momentum it's going to get going. But the early stage is really the most important stage because it's all word of mouth. If you've already invested in the campaign, if you're already on the team and on board with what we're trying to do, we need to turn a handful of us into two handfuls of us and keep building and growing on from that. And the way we're going to do that is telling each other about it. Trainwreck Sports today, man, those guys were freaking great on Twitter. All of them were chiming in and sharing and spreading the word and excited about what bringing an esports arena to Buffalo could be. That's the kind of support and engagement that we're going to need to keep spreading this around. But those early investments, that's so we can launch a propaganda war of ourselves. We can start running ads. We can start getting the word out. You want to see this grow and you want more people to know about the company. That's going to come from getting some online ads through Facebook and all of these different avenues where we can spread the word, spread the message of what we're trying to build here to a lot larger audience in a lot shorter time period. And that's where things get exciting.
So check out the Start Engine page.
Yep. GratwickProductions.com takes you right there.
If you're thinking about it, please do it. That would be very nice. You don't have to get a lot.
All right. Let's talk about this cool image that Ken Newton made for us.
Whoa, you know what? Our heads are in the way.
I will say duck to the side a little bit here
on
this one.
Even one better. I'm going to duck down.
Oh, come
on. You're messing with the focus. Going down. Look at that, though. Now they can see all the people. I was covering a ton of people.
Well, everybody's in there. Tons of... it was great. When we first released this on Twitter, everybody was chiming in with who could find the most different super fans and Bills characters.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
And who they thought each one of the different ones were. Mm-hmm. Okay. So jump up in here.
I'm back.
We're going to talk about this a little bit. The first thing I want to point out about this awesome image that Ken Newton made is...
I want to see what's behind you.
Do you know who this guy is? Right here?
Is that Uncle Dave?
That is absolutely Uncle Dave.
Nice.
Yeah.
I recognize the hat the most.
Yeah.
Aww.
Oh, that's his Don Beebe jersey. He's been rocking forever. That's Uncle Dave. So we had Ken Newton make this badass image because I wanted to do something cool and have a sweet gift to give for the Western New Yorkers that jump in and dive in on the campaign. And we came up with this idea, this image, this whole thing about the city, the teams, all of this stuff is starting to head in an awesome, positive direction. And Gratwick Productions is excited to be a part of that direction as well. So we wanted to symbolize that all in one image, and the whole city in the background with just a mob of Bills fans charging forward with "We're back," just encapsulated everything that like I kind of felt was happening with the city right now.
Okay, where's the "We're back"?
It's right down, like, see underneath us, like the red down there.
We are totally covering up.
Yeah, well, we're gonna pull the shirt up on screen here in a second. Not yet, not yet. So we came up with this image, and the beauty of it is it encapsulates this entire vibe right down to the table smashers. Got way over here is Dan Gambino with the code socks.
Oh, go the wrong way.
Yeah, right over your right shoulder.
Here.
No,
Go ahead, point them up.
Right over your right shoulder. So it just was a cool image that I had in my head, and I just, as a Bills fan, I wanted this shirt. And so we came up with it. Ken Newton offered to help get it made and created the whole design and logo. And the goal is, once the campaign reaches a certain level here with the first offering, we're going to have Rebel One Studios out of Buffalo as well. They're going to animate this entire logo. So all these Bills fans are going to be running, charging forward. Oh, the table's getting smashed as everybody's charging forward. And this little video is going to serve as an intro into a montage of Bills fan highlights each week. So everyone will be able to submit their own video of them cheering for the team. And each week a new video will drop where when you look at the shirt through your phone, the image will come to life, and all the Bills fans will charge at you through the phone, and then it'll go into the highlights and video montages of all different Bills fans.
That's pretty cool.
Twisted Rope is going to handle the augmented part of it, where when you look at it through your phone, it triggers the shirt to come alive.
Very cool.
And so that shirt is going to be for free. For anyone that invests in the Start Engine campaign, and the hope is to have it ready in time for the playoffs. And once the campaign's over, once everyone's gotten their shirts, eventually this shirt will be distributed and put on sale through Code Socks, and a portion of the proceeds of the shirt are going to go to a charity voted on by everyone that invests in the campaign.
Awesome.
Yes, so that is the long-term plan for the shirt. Now, we need to talk about Ken Newton, and we need to talk about the Pancho Billa part of the shirt.
Oh my.
Yes. So.
Chugging that one.
I probably should have prepared you to take the Pancho Billa part here so we could have yinged and yanged off this, but I'm going to push through, dear.
You do it.
You
do all of it.
I'm going to push through. Oh, David's checking in. So, the Pancho Billa part of the shirt is... we need something that'll end up in the sky above, whether it's a cloud that looks like Pancho Billa's mask or Pancho standing on a cloud looking down on the Bills Mafia. He's the one missing little component of the shirt that we want to have a contest for. From now until the end of the campaign, which is in January, anyone can submit a little design, a little image, a little logo of Pancho Billa, a cloud, whatever it may be, that pays homage to him and gives a little tip of the cap in his direction that we can get in the sky above our Bills Mafia crowd here. And the winner of that is going to get a bunch of the shirts. They're going to get their little image animated, and they're going to get to have a meeting with one of our Gratwick executives about some of the different artwork and creative things and what they're doing, and if there's anything we can do to help facilitate your art. So that's what we're looking for. So I'm going to do a little Pancho Billa tribute in this image up in the sky. Now, Andrea, are you ready to talk about Ken Newton?
Sure, let's talk about him. Can I show it?
Yes. Now you can bring up the little
Yeah.
montage. Okay. Hit the space bar one or two times where the montage starts. There we go. Let's start with his logo first. So, Ken Newton Studios. He's a hometown Buffalo artist, specializes in a lot of different Buffalo artwork, but he's got a flash sale going on his website right now for some Buffalo Braves. Baseball. That's his baseball team.
Oh, that's baseball.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, not Buffalo Braves. That's our old basketball team. The Atlanta Braves. John Smoltz, Maddox, some of the other famous players from the heyday of the Atlanta Braves. He's got a lot of different artwork that he did for them that's on sale on his website right now. But he usually does mostly Buffalo-oriented, Buffalo Bills stuff, kind of things. Let's look at some of his other artwork. There's Pancho Billa.
So that's what you want to see, up like tongue and all?
See, I don't want to...
Is the hat a big thing? Like that's part of
it
the
doesn't need to be. Like, so my original idea was just a cloud in the sky that had the kind of the ruffles of the cloud look like Pancho Billa's mask. So you know how when you look up in the sky and you think you see a dinosaur or you think you see Jesus' face or anything like that?
Yeah.
Basically the Pancho Billa version of seeing Jesus in the cloud.
But you don't want it like the Monty Python God in the clouds. Where it looks like literally a cutout.
No.
Just like a poncho, but with clouds around it.
No, we want it to be a real subtle, nuanced tip of the hat that fits in with the vibe of the rest of the shirt that's going on there. So, but that...
So in that style.
Yes, but
okay.
That's a drawing that he did of Pancho Billa. Like that's a hand painted. That's not a picture. That's him. Like
what?
that. Yeah.
Okay.
That's handcrafted artwork right there.
That's cool.
That's very, very cool.
Next image. There's the shirt as it stands right now, without the Pancho Billa tribute in the sky. So it'll be in that section above the breasts, so to speak. Yeah. that's where the Pancho Billa tribute will go. But that's what the shirt looks like right now. It'll also come in white. The white will have the "We're Back" in blue if you want the blue that way. Let's go to some other artwork. That's my childhood hero, Andre Reed, that he did a painting of.
He's got some pretty tight arms on that.
Oh, Andre Reed was a ripped machine, dear. That's what he was. Fred Jackson, another hometown hero, and then we're back on the loop.
Fantastic.
Yeah, nicely done. So yeah, that's the whole game plan with the augmented reality shirt, and why we came up with it, what we're doing with it, and how it plays into the entire Gratwick family of things that we have going on.
Very nice.
All right, dear.
All right.
I was going to bring the sound effects back this week too.
Were you really?
I was. I've got it all plugged in and all that, but I didn't pull it up. So we're just going to push on through. You ready for the Discord section?
I believe so. I think we have one. All right. Ready?
I am absolutely ready.
All right. And Discord questions. Okay. So Sam has a question for us about a topic we mentioned, and I think that might have been something I had already commented on it, but that was more like a Twitter thing, and you brought it up.
Oh, Sam definitely inspired the topic
All
for this
right.
week.
Well,
so
double
thank you,
points
Sam.
for you, Sammy.
Thank you, Sam.
How much more public outrage will it take for Harvey Weinstein to realize he's not welcome anymore?
The scary part is, I still think he is welcomed in most of the circles that he travels. It sucks. It's shameful, but like, how do you go out to something like that completely confident that you're going to have the upper hand in that situation, unless you know for a fact you're going to have the upper hand in that situation?
But this isn't his circle. Like, he went to an artist for artist evening.
Yeah, but he was friends with the owner of the club.
Small comedy club.
He was friends. He was invited by the person that put on the artist for artist event, and the owner of the club both personally invited him to come and be there. So these people, these quote unquote powerful people, still in the entertainment industry, are still welcoming him with open arms and looking for his favor. And now you combine this with last week we talked about the fact that his brother was opening up a new production company.
Yep, with the exec from the PR section of Weinstein Company who knew about everything Harvey was doing also.
So now you take those two P's and you throw in the third one back out wandering around in public with bodyguards and everything. And it's like a drug lord that goes to prison and still
El Chapo.
But they still lord over their cabal from prison.
El Chapo.
They're still ordering hits. They're still making calling all the shots from prison, like mob bosses back in the day. Always used to do. It seems to me like there's no way Brother Bob isn't going to start a production company that isn't somehow a puppet operation for Harvey to do business behind the scenes.
Of course. I hate him. He makes me angry. I don't understand how people don't throw their drinks in his face, like, every time he's out in public.
You don't have to throw a drink in his face.
No, you should.
Hold up.
You really should.
Hold up. At least defend the people that are bold enough to speak up.
Yeah.
Like these three women that they had the guts to call him out and say, we're all uncomfortable with you being here. The rest of them just aren't going to speak up. Like, you may not want to throw stones at Harvey and you may not want to do that. But at least voice your opinion to the club owner, to the security guards that are asking them to leave. Like, what are they going to tell everybody in the club to leave? They're not going to do that. But if it's between Harvey and one or two artists, they're going to throw the artists out every single time. But and that's the other part that the more I think about chaps my ass. All the audience that was in there was all fellow artists.
Yeah, they were supposed to be supporting each other. That's the whole point of the evening.
Yeah.
And they failed miserably. Their hipster little liberal fake ways went away really quickly when they all thought that, oh, if I don't say anything, Harvey might want me for a role. He might think I'm something different. No, I see him
somebody
as a
else
person.
will. So, they're speaking up and doing it. Oh, I'm glad they are because I'm not going to. But I'm sure glad somebody else did. But then when they do, you don't even stand behind them.
That's how the bully wins.
That's how the bully won in the first place. That's how the bully continues to walk around. And that's how the rest of them know that nothing is ever going to happen to them, even if we catch them.
Okay, so that was our Discord question.
Good question, Sam.
Yeah, Sammy.
All right. I'm going to start with the bullet blitzes. Is that what's happening here?
Yep.
All right. 3D printers. Andrea and I were working the side gig today at UFO Delivery, the weed operation, as we like to call it. The back room reminds me, every time we go there, it reminds me of where M hangs out. The person that makes all the gadgets and stuff in James Bond. And they've always got that little back room where they're working on different things. Come on, you've never seen a James Bond movie?
No. I've seen Austin Powers, though.
Whoa! Stop. Did you seriously?
No.
You've never seen a James Bond movie?
We've seen the one with... That was the most recent one that, like, Rolling Rock or Guinness or some shit like that was sponsoring.
Roger Craig.
That's how much it means to me
back.
Is that could have been
Daniel Craig.
And I'm sorry, I'm sure he's great in other things. I just don't care about that.
Every single James Bond movie has a scene where he goes and gets a bunch of gadgets and spy equipment and gear and the car that shoots rockets. And they always go in the back room where they're testing all this crazy, wacky gear.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what the back room of the weed shop reminds me of, is this place where they test all the wacky spy gear.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that.
And every time we get an order delivery...
It definitely feels that way as you walk down the very secure, even more secure every time we go, hallway. Holy crap in a hat.
Every time we get an order, I just want to slam the table down and just yell, "We got one!" Dude, just like Ghostbusters. That's all I ever think of.
Okay, so anyway, we were at the side gig today.
Yeah, and they had a 3D printer there, and David and I have been talking about 3D printers quite a bit recently, so they're kind of on my mind.
Okay.
My question for you is, if you could reprint something that you use on a regular basis over and over again, so you don't have to presumably purchase it anymore, what would it be?
And it doesn't have to be plastic?
It can be pretty much any material object that you want.
Cool, toilet paper. I want to never have to worry about getting toilet paper again. I want that bitch just rolls.
You always
making me rolls. Think about it. That
Yep.
cost a lot of money.
You always gotta find the line in the sand, don't you?
That's not a line in the sand. You just said I can use whatever.
You can't.
Are you guys seriously saying that you wouldn't want to be able to like literally know that you're down to like your last 2 rolls and just set the machine and come back and you get 9 rolls?
You can't 3D print toilet paper. If you could, it'd probably be closer to sandpaper.
You can 3D print hearts and stuff though. They do that and they use organic material. Why can't they? Totally can. They totally can. I think they can, and if they can't, I just gave someone an idea to do it. What would you 3D print?
Let's say it had to be a
no, you can't change it.
A harder object.
You can't change it.
Yeah, a harder object.
A house.
I mean, you could, but I don't think you're gonna have that big of a 3D
Dude,
printer.
why are you killing all my ideas? Why are you shooting me down?
Why do you gotta find both ends of the spectrum?
Why does it gotta make you feel better to make me feel worse, man?
Like, literally, you went too far one way, and then you came all the way back and went too far the other way.
We've seen the videos of them 3D printing houses.
Yes, but that's not the kind of 3D printer you're gonna have in this analogy.
Why am I now limited in my 3D printer imaginary world? What?
Because we were talking about the little one that we saw in the
Anyone
office.
else think that was the premise, that it had to be in a little tiny one where you could make a fork?
Okay, so yeah, that would be my thing.
You would make a fork?
Silverware, a toothbrush.
You want a 3D printed toothbrush? That could hurt.
Oh, more than toilet paper would?
Toothbrush is plastic though. It's actually coming out in plastic.
You're wiping your most sensitive open area with the other one, and you want to use the toothbrush argument. See, you're trying to.
If it's supposed to be toilet paper, it will come out in the correct consistency.
You're trying to be on both sides of the fence on this argument.
Understand.
You can't have the toilet paper and not the toothbrush.
And apparently, I can't have a house either. You're very demanding.
If you get the toilet paper, I get
the imaginary world.
I get the toothbrush.
Okay, enjoy your toothbrush.
Yeah, and like maybe shoes, I guess would be another one that's halfway between my stuff and your stuff. Halfway between toothbrush and toilet paper.
Sure. Yeah. Good call.
Yeah, well, fine.
What about ice cube trays?
Do you go through a lot of ice cube trays? I mean, that's kind of a one-time print. This was
think
more
about
of a...
If you have more of them, then you don't have to wait that 6 hours for it to set. Yippee.
I totally get to a certain point where you don't need more ice cube trays. The point of the analogy was to think of something that you... like is a disposable item that you have to get over and over again. That
understood.
Yes.
Okay, so my turn.
Yeah, moving on.
We just watched Dolomite.
Dolomite is my name.
Many things of my game. What is the next new movie you want to see?
Well, that's available now or coming.
Just a new movie.
Top of the list is for sure The Irishman. That's November 27th, I think, is when it'll be here.
Is that like a Thanksgiving weekend thing?
Probably. It's going to be on Netflix.
I want to see Jojo Rabbit.
Oh, I totally want to see Jojo Rabbit too.
It looks freaking hilarious.
I totally turned you on to Jojo Rabbit.
Rebel Wilson, no you didn't.
I absolutely did.
I don't think you did. I had already seen the trailer. I just didn't know the name of the fucking thing.
I definitely did.
Rebel Wilson looks hilarious. That little boy. Oh, I know.
So cute. Ad Astra, I think it's what it's called. I still want to see the Brad Pitt movie that like slipped through in the middle of the night. Hey, there's Brad Pitt movie. Oh, it's gone.
Yep, that would be a good one to see.
Hopefully, from the fact that it was there and gone in a whisper doesn't give me a lot of hope on it.
You know, it might be a sleeper one. It's going to be one of those cult classics.
That's my fear. That's why everybody. That's why nobody talks about it. It's because they all slept through it.
I fell asleep during Star Wars, so.
That's it's kind of a tradition
around
these parts.
It sounds exactly like the original 3 every goddamn time. Of course, I'm gonna fall asleep.
You're only allowed to have those opinions after you've made it through one screening.
It sounds the same, and it has the same beats to the story. I saw the original 3; they were great. Okay, your turn.
Some would say the sound is the greatest comfort in the Star Wars universe.
Yes, it makes me sleepy. I'm that comfortable. I feel that secure in it. It'll have a happy ending. No worries.
Moving on.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm headed to Vegas this weekend.
Are you really?
Yes, I am. Pretend like you didn't know this. I'm headed to Vegas this weekend to meet Greg and play some small poker tournaments. What's the one bet you would like me to make for you while I'm in Vegas?
I bet you... Fuck. I don't know how to do it right.
It's not you betting me. It's you asking me to make a bet for you.
Like to go over to like the roulette table or something.
It could be the roulette table. It could be the craps table. It could be a slot machine. It could be the sports book. It could be prop odds. It could be anything your heart desires in the land of sin that you would like some skin on. I can go take care of that for you.
You can play 5 on red.
You got 5 on it?
Yep.
So that's your big bet?
That's my
all the things
bet.
in Vegas, you want to do a double up bet?
Yeah. I like those. Those are safe. What's wrong with that? Come back with $10.
If you're gonna put $5 in the roulette wheel, you might as well pick a number. So if it hits, you get 32 to 1 at least. So your 5 gets you $150. That's at least a fun spectrum. I'm not going all the way there on the rickety cricket bus to put 5 on red.
Put 5 on 22.
5 on 22 it is.
There we go.
I'm gonna live stream it. I'm gonna put it on my Gratcast Films Instagram when I put that 5 on 22.
Actually, put it in the middle. I want it on that middle spot where it can go for any of the 4. You know you can do that.
Oh, the corners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it in the quarter. I like the corner spots.
You sure you don't want 00?
I'm sure. That one's harder.
Oh,
or the green. Just put it on the green.
That's what the green one is the 00. That's a big return.
Yeah, because it barely ever happens.
All right, dear.
Okay, so since we're going to be apart for our first Halloween ever, kind of weird.
Not that we've done anything big for any other holidays.
I don't like to get dressed. It's too much effort. Oh, it's too much effort. Too much effort.
Whereas I'm the complete opposite end of the spectrum of, we live in Hollywood. Halloween has to be one of the coolest holidays of the year in this town.
If you don't mind searching for the parking.
Everybody has studio quality Halloween costumes. Are you kidding me?
A lot of them have friends who are makeup artists. So.
One of my favorite phrases is never enter into a Halloween contest in Hollywood. You have no chance against broke, starving costume designers. Not happening.
Very true. So how will you be celebrating the Halloween evening since you will be in Vegas?
If it goes correctly, I'll be meeting Greg at 8:30 at the Excalibur, the one that looks like a castle. And we will be going to Planet Hollywood, where we will be playing in a 10 o'clock poker tournament.
So what time will you be arriving in Vegas then?
12:15.
So what are you doing for that solid 8 in between there, buddy?
I'll be playing a tiny tournament by myself at the Excalibur, which is why Greg's meeting me at the Excalibur.
A tiny tournament by yourself.
Yes.
A tournament of 1.
No, I hope
tournament of
the
1.
the buy-in is tiny. I'm hoping that there'll be more than just me there. But it is the Excalibur, so I could very easily be playing heads up against
some. Bought in and you just
some old townie with like 3 teeth and rode in on a freaking tumbleweed.
He's gonna call you on everything. I'm pushing all in,
and he'll hit every ace brick that he has. Oh, the townie always hits.
Oh, the 2-7 offsuit. How it has been known to win.
The townie always hits. That's what we should have named this episode. All right, dear. Are we ready to wrap it up?
I'm guessing so. Is everyone else any?
I have slight concerns that I may have accidentally moved the "Fuck This Shit, I'm Out" song. We may
never clean up your desktop, people. Come on.
Yeah. See, this is
You know what
exactly.
you do if you have too many things? Start deleting. Just
Hold on.
trash it.
David just chimed in. This is exactly why you don't enter in Halloween costumes in Los Angeles. Had a bro, Mike Greco, who would design a costume for like 4 months and win like 55 grand or 5 grand over the course of a few weekends.
Mm-hmm. Dude, if you got a skill, why wouldn't you use it?
It's like, here
Hell
comes
yeah.
money time.
And we also have the benefit of being right by Western Costumes, which is where a lot of the studios, when they're done, when their wardrobe needs to clear out, they just give it over there for them to rent it out.
All right,
So
Tara.
you could use real costumes.
If the song doesn't start playing, you and I are going to have to sing the song.
You will be singing the song. Cool.
And you'll be mumbling in unison with me.
Oh, put shit on it.
Here we go.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for joining. Happy to see you.
Oh, you're lucky.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks, don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please.
Imagine right
Fuck
here,
this
it
shit,
says,
I'm out.
Thank you for
Fuck
watching
this
the
shit,
show.
I'm out. Alright
And
then.
subscribe.
I don't know what the
Tune in
fuck
next
just
week
happened, but I don't
for
really
more
care.
Gratcast.
I'ma get the
That's
fuck up
what
out
it
of
is.
here. This shit, I'm out.
For shame.
Show's over.